We haven't spoken since your contract re-signing with the Carlton Footy Club. Obviously very exciting news last week that the journey's going to continue for at least 2 more years.
Yeah, no, it's great. Who would have thought, really, to be on the list in the first place? It's pretty cool, and then to extend that as long as possible, even better. So thankful to be at the Carlton Football Club, such a great club to be part of, and such a big fan base, 100,000 members, and getting to play in front of those big crowds, yeah, unbelievable.
We are here at Spotswood, and the mid-season draft is coming up. Quite famously, you were playing Western Region Footy League at the start of the 2021 season on this ground.
Yeah. Oh, I've only ever played one game on this ground because it got redone during COVID. So I played many games in the old club rooms before this was built and the old surface. So I played the first ever game here, which is a night game. And then, yeah, that was the only game I ever actually played here.
Well, you got a good reason for that.
Yeah, I was at Footscray and then, yeah, got drafted halfway through the year. But funnily enough, my teammate now, but past teammate as well, Lachlan Fogarty, his old man came and presented all the jumpers to the players, and he did the first half of the jumper presentation because you got to do seniors and reserves, so the numbers go up to 70. And he actually presented my Spotswood jumper to me that year, and then we were teammates 6 months later, which is pretty cool.
And it's not the only piece of history that you share with him. Team of the Century board must be somewhere around here, and do you see a Boyd and a Fogarty on that?
Well, there's no Boyd.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad, but no Boyd on there. My mum's dad is on there, my grandfather, and then Fog's dad is also on that, and they actually played here together. So there's a bit of family connection, and then we obviously played together all the way through juniors till he left to go play school footy. So that to now be playing together again is pretty cool. This is where I played most of my footy. Grew up playing here, did Auskick here. I think Dad played a couple of games here, so I was down here a fair bit. Mum used to, well, she jokes, but I think she was serious, treat me like a bit of a dog, take me to the bottom ground and kick the footy as far as she could and just let me run around. So a lot of great friends here. Made a lot of great friends here. So it's probably a major credit to the club and everyone involved. Before the game against Melbourne, I was chatting to the psychologist Tara, and she was just congratulating me on signing for 2 years. And she's like, "Oh, now you signed for 2 more years, I'll let you in on something." And I was like, "Oh, go on." Apparently the interview I did with the club was horrible. And based off that, they weren't going to draft me, but Mick and Nick were pretty keen to have me on board. So thankfully, I got another interview and did better. But yeah, she said it was terrible, which is quite funny because I was just of the opinion that I wasn't going to get drafted. My mum didn't watch the draft because I didn't really explain what was going on because I was like, oh, they're just interviewing me. Maybe we might play well in the VFL, see what puts me into the year sort of thing. And that's the opinion I was coming into that draft. Dad was probably the only one that was really watching. I wasn't watching. I was watching by myself in my room, but wasn't paying attention when I got called out. Mum wasn't watching, so yeah, it was a complete surprise. I had no idea that I was actually going to get picked. So yeah, it was a pretty cool moment.
And then what happened in the household?
Well, it's during COVID, so Dad started running around screaming. And then I looked up, saw my name, and next minute my girlfriend Grace runs in the room, and I think we're all in a bit of shock. And because it was COVID, I couldn't have any mates over, so a lot of mates came by and did drive-bys down the street congratulating. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then, not to take you back to a sad moment, but you made your VFL debut a few weeks later, and then I think it was your second game, you run into a goalpost and you injure your knee. And do you think it's over before it started?
Yeah, that was a bit of a strange one. Wrapped my leg around a goalpost, played the rest of the game out. Next day was pretty sore and got a scan. I honestly thought I was going to be fine. I walked into the club and they told me you're going to be in a brace for the next 8 weeks, and I was a bit shocked by that. But credit to the medical team, I got back and played a couple of games, and then didn't know where I was. So I just continued to come into the club and kept working as if I was going to get a contract, and luckily enough, I was given that opportunity. So it was off to a pretty shaky start. But yeah, I just kept coming in, trying to prepare as if I was, and fortunately enough, did get that contract, and yeah, trying to make the most of that opportunity now.
What about where you're at now, mate? You must be loving where things are at with your footy.
Yeah, no, I definitely am. It's good to get a bit of consistency. It definitely felt like I was getting that last year, and just building that confidence that year, those past years, even in and out, just building my game and confidence at that level really has set me up for where I am now. And yeah, I'm loving playing at the moment. Great bunch of boys around in that back line. Really fun to be a part of at the moment. So yeah, it's really good.
What's it like all of a sudden when you become a Carlton footballer and you're getting recognised in the street and all these kind of things, you're getting asked for photos? Do you cop that?
Well, I'm not big enough to be recognised too often. It is quite strange because you go from being like an everyday person, just working a normal job, playing footy here, to then being part of such a large club. It's pretty surreal. Yeah.
What was the job?
So I was working in a factory, just like packing boxes, doing odd jobs and stuff, and they were great. Really allowed me to like chase that footy dream. Like sometimes I'd have to take a day off during the day and go train with Footscray. So they were really supportive of that dream. And yeah, they said we'd love you to get drafted. And I remember on that Wednesday night, I left work and said, "Oh, I'll see you Thursday." And they're like, "Oh," like joking as if I wouldn't. And that night I had to call up the boss and quit, which is pretty funny.
Were they happy that you quit?
Yeah. No, obviously happy for me. But yeah, it was a pretty cool moment.
Well, tell us now, being back at Spotswood, would you ever call up Michael Voss and say, "Hey, I can't play this week, I'm going to a music festival"?
Probably not. I've learnt from that. Yeah. Well, back in 2018, I was playing senior football here, thinking that's as high as I'll ever go. Groove in the Moo came out probably 6 months earlier to the season. Me and my mates were like, "This is a pretty cool lineup." Hadn't seen Flight Facilities before. They were headlining and like, "We're all going, let's go." And then, so I ended up going. I missed the week, got dropped for 3. The boys lost and they had a 6 a.m. beach session the next day. Apparently 2 of them were late, so then they were playing 2s with me. And then played 2s for the next three weeks, which was good fun. I love playing in the 2s. Back in the day, playing under 19s, I used to back it up and play in the seconds. So do the old 2 games a weekend, which was fun. Dad the other night just told me, I think in that 2017 season, I played 32 games for the year.
Yeah.
I was loving it. I was playing backline, doing torps out of full back, playing in the 2s, which is some really fun moments.
And he would have watched all 32?
I think so. We tried to get him to play, but he's very adamant that he doesn't want to do that because he's the biggest white line fever known to mankind and probably will injure himself or start a fight, knowing
both.
Dad. Yeah, both. But he's still here, comes down most Saturdays if we're not playing, and he'll do the running and the water for seniors and reserves. Just loves it. I've got a lot of mates that still play here, so he's grown up. We've grown up with Dad around. He's been the runner since my first game and was runner when I was in the seniors as well, which is fun, receiving messages you've done something wrong from your dad. My mates have grown up with my dad being around the club, and he's grown up, watched them all grow up, so yeah.
Your dad probably didn't drop the pies that quickly, but he did pick up the blues immediately.
He has picked up the blues immediately.
Yeah.
He's got to know a lot of the boys, and if the boys talk to him long enough, he buys a magnet and puts them on the fridge. There's a little shrine of Dad's favourite players in the fridge, and he's always trying to get the next one. I think Sam Durden was the latest inductee on the fridge, which is quite funny. I always go home and there's someone new on the fridge, but he loves it. Loves being a part of it, loves getting to know all the players, all the staff, all the coaches, just loves everything about the club, but has completely dropped the pies now, I think. So we've got him on the blue baggers.